put the resources into the community when it was dominantly black. This community was literally, one of my tennis coaches told me one time that, when I was in prison, he was like, how can they say they're going to rehabilitate you when you've never been habilitated? Black people, we've never been habilitated from slavery. We're only a couple generations from slavery. My grandfather was a sharecropper. So more than likely his dad or his mom probably was slaves. So when you look at the whole scenario, black people have been under some pressure that has never been dealt with. And that's why I don't necessarily, we have to take some responsibility, but then we also have to be considerate of what has happened to us as black people.
Most definitely. Because there's definitely accountability, and then there's also like victim blaming too, in a sense of like people that have already been victimized, and then we're only kind of looking at the behaviors that they're showing, but not really looking at the root causes of like what.
Absolutely. And you have to go to the root if you really want to solve the problem or find out where it's coming from.
Right.
Yeah. And I totally agree. They have never dealt with our root problems as blacks in this country.
Definitely. Even, just on a micro level in terms of LA, I always say I feel like LA is a perfect like microcosm to like analyze the ways in which the system marginalizes black people and like like strips us economically, you know what I'm saying? And in terms of like the institutional racism and things like that, I also wanted to ask you, growing up in South Central during, like the 70s, and what year were you born? 60, growing up more like in the 70s.